Welcome to Dodgers Dogs. As part of the Dodgers Daily Network, Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. I have about 30 minutes that I'm going to go live here, and we also have a Down on the Farm. So if you want to get your thoughts in, now is the time. We're going to talk Dodgers baseball for about 20 minutes, probably have about a 10-minute Down on the Farm. I want to cover some guys that are down in Rancho. We did not get to Rancho a whole lot over the weekend. We have a debut in Brady Smith. We have some great action. Chase Harlan. We have Emil Morales, Jaron Elkins. I also want to talk a little bit of Ryan Ward and Lucan Baker down on the farm. Also, William Maynard has been pitching very well. I want to cover him as well. So kind of a light show today. It was a light performance last night for the Dodgers. But if you want to get in the chat, now is the time. We have a great crowd logged in. Larry Scott says accountability. And, hey, we already have people wanting to comment on this Dodgers game last night. Ayanami, no Ray, move Teo to left field. Enough is enough. Mookie to right field and figure something out in the infield. Larry Scott says we already have a DH. Dadgummit, I'll say that. And then Ayami no Ray says sit Conforto permanently. Whatever allows Teo to move out to left field. So this goes back to the age-old, or at least the season-old issue of the Dodgers literally trying to put a square peg into a round hole. And here I go being a complete hypocrite because on Sunday night's show with Coach Barikoff, I went on and on and on and preached and did all this crap about, hey, Michael, they chose Michael Conforto, so we need to root for the guy. And I definitely do root for him. But here, to me, it's not even the offense. I've said it all year. Austin has said it all year. Everybody on Dodgers Dogs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network has said it all year about the Michael Conforto thing. The biggest problem of it to me is it's made the defense bad. So literally what you look at with this team, okay, the starting pitching is going to be very, very good. The pitching overall, even since the All-Star break, whether it be starting or relieving, even though I know it doesn't seem like it because the Dodgers, I believe, have given up like 3 leads late, and they did not get help at the trade deadline, so we kind of focus on that. The relief pitching actually has been good since the trade deadline. So I think how far the Dodgers go or don't go is going to come down to offense. We saw the Dodgers come out and have a really good second inning last night. You get 3 base hits, and you get a sac fly from a rookie, Dalton Rushing. And so you had 2 rookies really come through. You had Dalton Rushing hit a sac fly. Then you had Alex Freeland have the double in the pinch hit. How about Doc using a rookie to pinch hit for a veteran? That is just kind of out of character for the way that he does things. That's definitely out of character for the way the Dodgers usually characterize rookie versus veteran. But how about Alex Freeland coming through with that big double? Did a great job, Alex did, getting himself into a hitter's count. Then once he got into a hitter's count, he didn't try to do too much, was a gap-to-gap type of guy. And so Freeland is capable offensively, and I think just the confidence that Dave Roberts showed at him last night by giving him that pinch hit really shot some adrenaline into him, and Alex really came through for the team. So 2 rookies came through. You had the good inning in the second inning, but then nothing. I mean, after you have the good, you have the 3 singles, you have the sac fly, you're playing good team baseball, everything's looking fine. And then you go 9 hitters in a row all the way through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. I mean, the thing about the offense isn't just the run scored. It's the amount of innings that accrue where you're literally putting no pressure whatsoever on the defense. So it's like you either score 1 or 2, or there's absolutely not anything going on, and it's like you just kind of fall asleep and you take a nap, and it's 3, 4 innings later, and the other team's pitchers, whoever they may be, are kind of in the rocking chair. So if the Dodgers want to start playing better offense, if they want to start scoring more runs, it's not about the innings that they do score. It's about the innings that they don't. They have to be more competitive. You know, we talk about this with pitchers a lot. This is the problem with Tyler Glasnow. So the Dodgers offense right now literally is Tyler Glasnow. So you either have a good offense or you either have a good pitch that's in the zone and it's a really good pitch, or it's a non-competitive pitch. So the Dodgers offense right now either has a good inning and you string together 3 singles and a sac fly, or you get a big RBI double, or you hit a home run, something. So the Dodgers either have a good inning on offense or it's a completely non-competitive dud where literally the pitcher and the hitter and the opposing defense has to do nothing. So after the good second inning, 9 outs in a row recorded before Freddie Freeman led off the 6th with the walk. It was good to see, again, Alex Freeland get that hit. And then again, after that, nada. And you had to feel bad for Robo. I'm going to be I don't need to be transparent because I think you guys also, you know how close I am with Robo. He's my boy. He's from OSU. Plus, beyond that, I just like Robo. I just like his mentality. I like the way he does things. And I think he's good. So as far as Robo goes, I mean, you give up the defense is in no doubles defense, which means Teo's playing a lot deeper. And to be honest with you, I think Jerry Harrison Jr. made a good point that I think Alex Freeland, that's probably not his ball, but I think you have to know that in the back of your mind, Teo's not a very good defender to begin with. And then when he's deep like that in no doubles, I don't think Alex was aware enough before the pitch was started to go, you know what, Teo's deep right now because we're in no doubles. And because of that, anything behind me, normally I give way to the outfielder. I'm a rookie, he's a veteran, so I'm damn sure going to give way because of that factor. But when you throw all of that in and you come out with the right recipe, the recipe is anything behind Alex Freeland because of the no doubles defense, because Teo is not a good defender, because Teo is playing so deep. Freeland needed to understand before that pitch was thrown, I'm going to be aggressive to go get any kind of pop-up behind me. So I'm going to go ahead and say, because of that whole situation, I would put that on if I were the manager, if I was Dave, or if I was somebody addressing that play. My narrative on that is, Alex, that's your ball. And not necessarily because it's always your ball, but because of the situation. The no doubles, because of Teo, because of this. And by the way, Alex Freeland's a great athlete and he's a great defender. So Alex, next time, go get that ball. That would be my narrative on that. And then just the two-hopper that Robo gave up. I mean, it is whatever it is. It sucks. And here's the deal, okay? I mean, this is why on the Sunday show, if you go back to the receipt of the Sunday show, we have a wonderful crowd logging in. If you go back to the Sunday show, I was not excited about the sweep. And because the only thing that's moving the needle for me right now, the Padres aren't what moved the needle for me right now. What I want to see is a team that actually is shaping into playoff form to be the team where I look at them and I go, yeah, that's the best version of the Dodgers. Because the best version of the Dodgers can win the World Series. The B team, or maybe even, I think we're probably seeing about a C team version of the Dodgers right now. The C team version of the Dodgers is not even going to make it to the World Series. The C team version of the Dodgers likely won't make it out of the first round of the playoffs. Might not, at least. And so what's going to move the needle for me, which is why I was kind of the Debbie Downer on the Sunday show, was because you're still seeing all of the issues that are going to hold this team back. Lack of competitiveness in 9 at-bats in a row. 3 straight innings against the freaking Colorado Rockies at Coors Field, the most offensive-friendly ballpark and facility in the world, and you go 9 innings in a row where you go 9 up, 9 down after you had taken the lead with a good inning. That's what I'm looking to see if the Dodgers can eliminate. Can they become more consistent offensively and put, even in the innings where you're not scoring, be that team to where the defense feels like they just kind of escaped by just kind of the chin on the hair on their chin, right? Where they feel like every single inning they're getting lucky to get out of innings, where you're putting pressure on the defense and the other pitcher every single inning. That's what's going to move the needle for me. So if something holds the Dodgers, I think this season is going to come down to defense, especially in the outfield. I think that the best way to solve that is to remove Michael Conforto and put anybody else out there. Andy Pages is a good center fielder. We saw him make the great throw on Freddie Freeman, which ended up being the game winner on Sunday. He has an awesome arm. It's even better in right field. Okay. Of course, you don't have Tommy Edman right now, so that's very difficult. You can put Alex Call wherever you want. Alex Call is not hitting. I get it. That's not a great option. But I think between you pick, and Teo's been hitting better, between Michael Conforto and Teo Hernandez, I just don't think both of them in the lineup. That's been the problem with putting a square peg into a round hole with Conforto. If you have both of them out there, and unless one of them is going off offensively or both of them are playing good offense, you have bad outfield defense, and it has cost the Dodgers over and over and over and over. So I'll say this: I don't think the best version of the Dodgers, the A version of the Dodgers, is with both Michael Conforto and Teo Hernandez in the outfield. Again, going back to the Sunday show, I'm being hypocritical here because I'm covering that again, but that doesn't mean that I'm not rooting for Michael Conforto to do well. That just means that's my opinion on that issue. I think the Dodgers, so the issues are outfield defense and dry spells on offense, non-competitive innings offensively. The Dodgers have scored the 20th most runs since the All-Star break. It has not been a good offense. And it's largely because you have so many innings to where you just are doing nothing as an offense like we saw last night. So it's going to come down to consistency on offense. Can you have 9 innings of good baseball instead of 2? It's going to come down to that and outfield defense. To me, those are your 2 issues at this point. I bitched and moaned about not getting a closer, and we have seen the Dodgers not be able to close out 3 or 4 games since the All-Star break. You can make that case. I won't push back. But just on the very tippy top of the biggest concerns, it's going to be consistency on offense, 1 through 9 innings, and outfield defense. That is where I am at as far as the first things that I would be the most urgent about in terms of fixing whatever the issues are with the Dodgers. W. Bassick on the TikTok side, what are the chances to see another Padres-Dodgers playoff in October? Yeah, well, I mean, very good. I mean, I don't know. There's a million different things that can happen between now and then, but I wouldn't mind seeing that because I think the Dodgers are definitely in the Padres' head in terms of, the Padres getting too hyped up. We talked about that on Sunday and not being able to function very well as a team. So not only did the Dodgers go 3 up and 3 down in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings before they scored in the 6th, then after the Alex Freeland big double in the 7th, or in the 6th, excuse me, so 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and he scored in the 6th. In the 7th inning, how about striking out all 3 at bats? So again, you score, and then, it's either you score or it's just a not competitive inning. That's the problem. Then Conforto and Pages could not do anything with the double in the 8th inning from Freddie Freeman. So in the last 35 games, the Dodgers offense has scored 113 runs. 35 games. Last 35 games, the Dodgers offense has averaged 4.5 runs per game. You can win with the pitching the Dodgers have with that, but you're not. It's going to be like a 500 deal like we've seen recently. And post All-Star break, here's some numbers for you. The Dodgers have scored the 20th most runs in baseball, 125 runs since the All-Star break. They have the 6th most strikeouts with 259. They are 20th in RBI, so they're not driving in runs. They're not scoring runs since the All-Star break. 10th best OPS. So for the Dodgers to score runs, they need to have that good slug to them. But pitching-wise has been better, I think, than you will think here. So post-All-Star break, Dodgers starters have the 5th best ERA. That's in starting. 5th best ERA for Dodgers starters since the All-Star break. That's a 3.52 ERA. And the relievers, this is kind of what I'm talking about. I bitched and moaned about not going and getting a closer. And it's optics where the Dodgers have given away some games in the late innings like last night. But the relievers have the 7th best ERA since the All-Star break at 3.39. So that's better than I thought it would be. Let's get into some of your comments here. Wow, what a wonderful crowd we have logged in here. Ayanami No Race has moved Teo to left field. Yeah, we went over that right there. Andres Fonseca, hey, Casey, the organization always preaches putting players in the best position to succeed, but Teo at right instead of left says otherwise. I can't push back on that. And Andres Fonseca also says calling up Ward for a cup of coffee in left field seems reasonable. You would have to select his contract and somebody would have to get DFA'd. We would have to see how that would work, but I cannot push back. Those are both very fair points, Andres Fonseca, if not completely accurate. Deuce, the outfield defense has been subpar all season. Yeah, man, make adjustments. Don't just I agree, man. Make adjustments. it's obvious. The outfield defense with Michael Conforto and Teo on your quarters is not good. And Conforto has not been a good enough offensive player. I go being a hypocrite again. I'm going to change my mind like the wind blows. I apologize for that, but it is what it is. That's kind of how this season has gone. I just don't think you can roll with both of those guys defensively in the outfield unless Michael Conforto is a good enough offensive player to be able to overcome some subpar defense. And at no time this year, even though he's done better, at no time this year has he been that guy. But again, I'll say this, if the Dodgers roll with him, I will root for him like hell, like I do anybody else. Hey, Larry Scott, good base running provides more opportunities to score. Yes, totally agree. Harold Smith, Hernandez, smiling in the postgame interview is infuriating. Yeah, he has that happy-go-lucky. I think it was more of a sarcastic smile. Kind of is how I took it. He actually asked the reporter, which fly ball are you talking about? And the reason why he said that, Harold, I will defend him to a touch, is that he was in no doubles defense. And because he was in no doubles defense, he was so deep, and I actually think that ball should have been caught by Alex Freeland instead of Teo Hernandez because of those situations. So now the smile, you can think what you want on that, but in terms of the fly ball, I personally think that's Alex Freeland's fly ball instead of Teo's. So, Andres, hey, you're on your A game today. I definitely believe Freeland has earned the right to play more. No doubt about that. Ayanami no Ray, yay, Teo. Teo doesn't give a crap anymore. I just think he has kind of that, he doesn't worry like we do. We want to see guys dejected and down and throwing fits. That's not his personality. He got his money and his ring. He's coasting the rest of his contract. And that if that is the case, that is not even close to what the Dodgers culture is built on, and the Dodgers will correct that. So I will default to the Dodgers noticing that, and if they sense that at all, they will fix that. So Andres Fonseca, I didn't like how Teo didn't take accountability. Again, I think that's him addressing the fact he was defending himself versus not taking accountability. That's probably semantics based on the fact that he was in no doubles defense. Jeff Roll, it's the same thing every game, Casey. We score 2 or 3 runs early, then nothing the rest of the game. Not concerned at all about the pitching, but the lack of offense and the consistency. It's the score 3 terrible innings, score 2 terrible innings. That's what's got me the most concerned. Deuce, Teo making a lot of business decisions out there. Yeah, people are not happy with Teo today. Andres Fonseca, do you think Betts at shortstop is a Mookie idea? 100%, Andres. 100% Mookie idea. He wanted to do it, and the team, he's Mookie Betts, and so they went with it. And also, too, I don't think they had a better option. Who would have been the better option at shortstop? So they're like, well, we really don't have anything that would be substantially better, so why not? So I think it was a Mookie idea, then a why not response from the Dodgers organization. Jeff Roll, I know it's just the personality, but when Kirsten was asking Teo about those 2 plays, he kind of shrugged it off. I don't disagree. I'm not going to push back on that. All I'm going to do is defend the fact that he was in no doubles defense, and that I think that was more defending himself than shrugging it off, trying to make sure people understand exactly what the situation was. Ela Shiva, Mookie has been looking a bit better on offense. On the bright side, yes. He needs to come around and be a good offensive player for this Dodgers team to reach their goals, no doubt. Hey, Deuce, Padres coming into the Dodgers Stadium and choking doesn't make me more comfortable with the Dodgers. Ding. That was my whole theme on Sunday. That's why I wasn't excited. That's why the Coach Barracov was like, wow. And I'm sure everybody was like, well, what the hell's this guy got up his ass? The Dodgers just swept the Padres, and he's come literally, if you go back to my first 5 minutes of the show Sunday, is like, I'm not excited. This team didn't show me anything over the weekend. That makes me any more confident now that they're ready to win a World Series than they were before they swept the Padres. The team you saw last night is the exact same team that swept the Padres. Only difference is the Rockies have figured out a way to score a few more runs, whereas the Padres in the last 4 games haven't done that. That's exactly where I'm at, Deuce. Now, I'm normally positive. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but that's just kind of where I'm at the moment. Jeff Roll, the first one earlier in the game when he threw the wrong base was bad and cost us a run. 0 chance to get Karros at third. By the way, that's Eric Karros' son. That was exciting to see. Totally agree. Larry Scott, in my opinion, if you get on base, you need a score as if your life depends on it. Yeah. Mixie Flicks, can't wait to see the version with 3 or 4 players hitting less than 2. Andres Fonseca, I get they have several injuries, but I really dislike the Kennedy signing, yes. Why didn't they give Cody Hosey a chance? Because this is what they do. Why did they give Gavin Biggio reps instead of Andre Lipsius? Why did they bring up Austin Wynns instead of Hunter Fiducia 2 years ago? It's just what the Dodgers do, no doubt about it. They go get a veteran player and they put them in over what they consider a quad A player in Oklahoma City. But again, I have no pushback. I would have loved Cody Hosey, or the guy I think I probably would have brought up would have been Nick Senzel. Nick Senzel has Major League experience, and he's been hitting good. So if you're going to ask me why did the Dodgers go with Buddy Kennedy instead of Nick Senzel, I have nothing for you there. So, hey, Andres, Deuce, I really like Shohei's new two-strike approach, more line drives, no doubt. Thank God. That's a great point, Deuce. And now this chat is just absolutely on fire. You guys are absolutely awesome. Jeff Roll, if Shohei wasn't pitching, I'd bet he would be a great right fielder. Yes, I agree with that. When did being on second base become not in scoring position? I don't know about that. Hey, Andres Fonseca, we have a comment here. If I can unclick that, let me do that. As a baseball lifer, as yourself, explain to me why the Dodgers refused to make necessary adjustments in mid-August. Because I just don't think that they so what's the alternative to this? And then he's making $17 million, and then it's not guaranteed that it would get any better, and you've created a cluster. And beyond that, that's a great question that I have no answer to, because I just gave you a bullshit answer, to be quite honest with you, because I happen to agree with you. And so I think the front office is the absolute best in the world. This is just a disagreement on one issue. I don't mean to be throwing anybody under the bus. We just disagree on this one in particular issue, just like we did on the trade deadline. I felt like the Dodgers needed another offensive player and a closer. That's okay. That's what makes the world go round, is that you don't agree on everything. Playing at elevation can be a challenge, says Ela Shiva. Takes a day to adjust and lower oxygen level. And then that's the problem coming back. Also takes another day once you get back. Hey, Jeff Roll, do you remember how good David Bodie was? Yes, David Bodie was very good. And he ended up being the guy that was just kind of hanging around in case the Dodgers needed him, and it never happened. Ayanami no Ray, I read that after the game, Mookie had a meeting with Friedman and Roberts. I have a feeling that they're seriously considering sending Betts to right field again. That would be fine. I think second base is this sweet spot, but I would have no problem with that. Jeff Roller offense is all or nothing. 2 home run dependent, or I would say 2 1 inning dependent. They did scab 3 singles and the sac fly last night. They got the walk and the double. I mean, that's how they scored last night. But I would say the problem is, Jeff, yes, that boomer bust does lead to very long dry spells. But I would say it's just non-competitive innings on the innings that you're not scoring. Andres Fonseca, I agree with you. With the Dodgers need to treat their changes like they need to be met with urgency. At this point, they need to see who will be on the postseason roster. I totally agree. And Jeff Roll saying Teo's basically a DH. Adolph Pfister, thank you so much for joining tonight versus the Rockies. There's 67% chance the Dodgers start the defensive switch and 50% chance for full bets right field, Teoscar left field, Rojas Freeland at short. Let's go. Let's absolutely freaking go, man. That would be fantastic. What a great crowd we have logged in. That's all the time I have for the Dodgers segment. But hey, do not go away. Please stick around for the Down on the Farm segment, because we have a lot to get to. I want to get to my boy Ryan Ward. We're going to show you Brady Smith, who made his affiliated debut, and we have a lot. So with that, let's not waste any more time, and let's take a trip down on the farm. So who you're seeing right here is Ryan Ward, and here's what I wanted to say about him, is that here's the situation. You cannot become you cannot become a free agent until you have 6 years of service time at the minor league level. And so if you're a college guy that comes out at 23, you're 29 years old before you can become a free agent. So then, let's say the Dodgers selected the contract of Ryan Ward, then they could keep him in the minor leagues for his 3 option years. So literally for a 23-year-old coming out, you have the 6 years of free agency, that's 29, 3 option years. It could be 32. You could be 32 years old before you have the ability to move to another team or the team that drafted you. You could be 32 years old before the team that drafted you actually has to make a decision on whether or not they think you're a major leaguer. And so right now, Ryan Ward is 27, 28 years old, and he's going to be a free agent. And if I was Ryan Ward and he does not get any kind of look whatsoever this year, my ass would be gone. I would be signing, not that the Dodgers, again, best front office in the world, but they have jumped Ryan Ward time after time after time. And so if I was Ryan Ward, I would declare free agency, and I would be gone 30 seconds after the last pitch of this season. And I think that's probably what's going to happen with Ryan Ward, so we shall see. So here's another guy that you don't really need to know about him. Well, you do, but Luken Baker is a guy that is absolutely blocked. He plays first base and first base only, DH. He's not going to replace Freddie Freeman. He's not going to replace Shohei Ohtani. The most, if he did make a postseason roster, it would be maybe to be a pinch hit type guy, but he can mash. Remember, he was the 2023 International League MVP. He was the Babe Ruth of the Big 12 when he was at TCU. He's a mammoth of a man. He's an awesome hitter. Again, I'm not trying to say he's going to be a factor because he is blocked, but how about this? Luken Baker, 478, OPS 1296 since joining the Dodgers organization. Boy, it'd almost be nice to put Shohei in the outfield and let Luken Baker be the DH for this team because they could use a guy like this that can flat hit, and Luken Baker can flat hit. I mean, I'm kind of playing the what ifs, but what if Shohei Ohtani played the outfield and Luken Baker was your DH? Of course, he might go up to the major leagues and not hit at all. I don't know, but all I know is that Luken Baker, the Dodgers actually got him. They DFA'd him. He cleared waivers, and they assigned him to AAA Oklahoma City. And since they have done that, he has done nothing but absolutely mash. So those are the two AAA guys I want to talk about, and the rest of the time I want to spend down at Single A Rancho because we did not cover Single A Rancho at all on our Sunday show. And there's a lot of good babies down there that can play some really good baseball. And who you're seeing right here is Emil Morales. Emil Morales is having a really good year for Rancho Cucamonga. Another one of those really good shortstop guys. I personally think Emil Morales will end up at third base. I think just the athletic ability aspect of it. He could be a bigger shortstop, but I think just when you figure into the fact the Dodgers have Noah Miller and Sean McClain and Joe Andrew Vargas and Elijah Hainline and Kellen Lindsey and all these wonderful shortstop prospects, I think when you put the athletic ability profile of Emil Morales together, his power potential, I think he probably does end up at third base, but that's just me spitballing. Don't take that as gospel by any stretch of the imagination. But Emil Morales has hits in 4 games in a row. He has hits in 8 of his last 9. He's hitting .367 so far in August, and he has 2 3-hit games in his last 6 played and his 10 for his last 25. So it's good to see Emil Morales play really well. And hey, Larry Scott, you are absolutely reading my mind because the next guy we were going to talk about on this Down on the Farm segment is Jaron Elkins. Let me get up to his file here, and let's take a look at one of the most talented and just tool-rich players in all of baseball. Jaron Elkins, he has 63 stolen bases. He is a tremendous outfielder. He is the fastest player in the Cal League, period. He has a world of power potential. Right now, and he has a big-time arm, like Larry Scott's saying here. What it's going to come down to for Jaron Elkins is, can he tame the swing and miss? It's kind of the Jose Ramos deal. I mean, this is Jose Ramos all over again. Jose Ramos was an all-star type player at the Rancho level. He was just simply fantastic, but he swung and missed a lot. And Jose Ramos, to this point, still has not tamed that. So I think for Jaron Elkins, really, if you were to ask me, what is the only thing that could hold him back at this point, because he is so extremely talented, it would be if he doesn't figure out how to improve, at least to an extent, his bat-to-ball skills, and I think that's probably the process for him. Again, that is a process because you don't want to lose all of the treasure trove of tools. You don't want to get too conservative, but then again, we've seen with guys like James Outman and Jose Ramos, you also can't have massive bat-to-ball skills deficiencies, of which I think Jaron Elkins has the potential to eliminate all those. So Jaron Elkins, just an absolute treasure trove of tools for him, just a world of ability. So super excited for him, and I hope you understand whenever I address issues that might hold guys back, I'm not trying to be negative or any of that. just trying to just be real as far as what's good and what is bad. So this is Chase Harlan. You talk about a dude with massive power potential. Wow. This young man has some serious strength. And really, to this point, he's kind of shown that he can hit the ball up the middle a little bit. He can hit the ball to right center some. He can, like that right there, he can stay in the middle of the field. And he has some potential to be a great hitter that can also have a lot of power. Home run number 2 with Rancho. Back-to-back multi-hit games for Chase Harlan. And he has hits in 5 of his last 11 games. In that stretch, he has a home run and a double. So Chase Harlan is a guy that you really, really, really need to keep your eye on. Not necessarily so much for stats in his first full pro season, but just kind of see, is he developing into a great hitter that uses the big part of the field? Is the power potential really starting to come in and be a thing? And so I wanted to show you a little bit on Chase Harlan and his action at Rancho to this point. The next guy is a guy I promise you've never heard of. I knew all about him when he was right here in Oklahoma at Seminole State JUCO. And this is William Maynard. Made his affiliated debut just the other day through a scoreless inning for Rancho yesterday. That's his 4th scoreless outing in a row. 2 of those are at the complex. 2 of those are with Rancho. Again, he has 2 affiliated outings. His last 2. 1.17 at the complex ERA for Maynard. Kind of has that herky-jerky Phil Bickford type feel to him. So 1.17 ERA, Phil Bickford is exactly who he kind of reminds me of, with a little bit of Dustin May type delivery. Nice slider there. 1.17 ERA at the complex in 7.2 innings in July. Then he got sent to Rancho, and he's posted 2 scoreless outings since then. So I wanted to show you William Maynard. And the last guy I wanted to finish with is a guy that I've actually interviewed, and the Dodgers got him in the 3rd round, I believe it was, in the 2023 draft. Super young, talented pitcher out of Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, that was drafted out of high school and then literally had reconstructive elbow surgery and has not been able to pitch at all as a pro until Sunday. Congratulations, Brady Smith. You have made it all the way back, and finally from your reconstructive surgery, finally back. Look at that dirty changeup, and hit 97 miles an hour and dropping bombs with that changeup. Let's freaking go, Brady Smith. Congratulations. You are on the board. 3rd round 2023, reconstructive surgery January of 24, and Sunday his affiliated debut. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. Again, drafted out of high school, just 20 years old. Super, super duper excited about Brady Smith and his future. So that's going to do it for a Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. Let me get back to some of the chat. Hey, Douglas Anderson asked, why isn't Dean playing? He can't be any worse than Conforto. I just don't think that they trust his offense, and I don't think they feel like they have the time to experiment whether he could be a good offensive player or not. So that would be why. Whether you agree with that or not, that is the reason why he does not play. Deuce, it's Hubert's by someone in the front office refusing to admit Conforto was a miss. Douglas Anderson, Teo can't hit anymore. If he needs to go to the eye doctor, let's see, I can't quite read that. Okay, Ela Shiba, I see Bodie is on the restricted list. That's what I'm talking about. At AAA, he's been there all year. Hasn't played at all. Hey, Bruce Davis, we got all these outfielders. If one is smashing the ball, the ball or this first baseman, bring up, we need more offense. He's talking about bring up Luke and Baker or one of the outfielders like Ryan Ward and give this offense an injection of steroids that they need. Hey, Jeff Roll, he had a great spring training, talking about David Bodie, and I thought he should have made the roster, similar to Andre Lipsius last year, but instead we kept Taylor, Outman, and Barnes, who are all gone. Hey, Jeff Roll says, I miss Phil Bickford. He has some of that Vesia fire to him. Yeah, totally agree. So, hey, that's going to do it for today's show. What a wonderful crowd we had log in. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my busy time of year, so I can't guarantee you the exact times I'll be coming on. So make sure and turn on your notifications, and anytime you get one, come join the live show. So until next time, you Dodgers dogs are the absolute best, not the biggest, but the absolute best baseball chat out there. No doubt about it. I will go to my grave with that. So until next time, which will be tomorrow morning with Coach Holt, I want to thank you for tuning in and remind you it's a great day to be a Dodger.